Oh yeah. What up, y'all? It's your boy, the one and only A Switch, aka the 50-time undefeated social distancing champion, aka Stoop Man, aka the nigga lip master. How do you master lips? Nigga lips at that. Well, bringing you yet another episode of Switch Sites. Um, episode. Damn it. Damn it. We off to a good start. Episode 54 to be exact. Today's date is May 7th, 2020. Um they starting to let this lockdown go, but maybe a bit too early as we're starting to see. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But prayers and thoughts and best of wishes out to everybody still fighting the fight. It's getting real. I mean, it was getting real before, but I mean, it's still getting real. But now it's gonna get more real because now it's a different dynamic where they telling you it's okay to go out, kind of, but you technically shouldn't. But if you don't, you can't. It's all bad, man. It really is. But I digress. We had pretty interesting week this week in terms of like the start of a lot of I guess news events and major events regarding game news and stuff. Also, by the way, this is a video game podcast where we talk about video games and just that. I mean, I guess why would I say it's a video game podcast and call it something else? But I don't know. Maybe that's just misleading. I'm sorry if whatever. You know what I mean. Anyway, let's stop the dilly dally and get right into it. First topic discussion. Of course, probably the biggest, somewhat biggest news story of this week. Maybe second, technically. Jeff Keighley, the man, the god. Might as well call him the godfather of video game news. Video game news coverage. Excuse me. Announced that he is facilitating Summer's Games Fest, which is basically a 4-month-long season of news and events. So obviously this is definitely kind of shifted in the way. Like Summer Game Fest is like in the movie theater, right? And then Summer Game Fest is like on seat 16, but E3 at like seat 15. So Jeff is like, hey, can you just need to move real quick. Excuse me. Let me just move over you. Sit down real quick. Thank you. So basically taking in place kind of somewhat the I guess fervor maybe of E3 and kind of like honestly capitalizing on that, at least giving us some direction in terms of like some like main event to like consistently be focused on. Kind of like it feels like roughly the same extent of what he had with like Game Slice and like YouTube coverage and stuff, but he's doing it more, well, longer, of course, but well, I guess essentially just basically that, but longer. Really, it's kind of the vibe I get, vibe impression, but you also kind of get more of a, I guess, modern streamer type feel about it, where he's kind of, at least I caught a little bit of his coverage of the Xbox event, which we'll talk about next. Basically kind of giving a very unique touch from his angle in terms of like the game announcements and stuff like that. So all in all, I'm all for it. I mean, if anybody is able to kind of pull something like this off to this like long length extent, it definitely would be Jeff Keighley. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. All these, I mean, supposedly exclusive games he's going to be covering and stuff like that. So I am in for the ride, whatever ride that is. I don't know where we're stopping, but hey, I'm in for that ride. I got my seatbelt buckled, you know, safety first. You know what I mean. I hope so. Yeah, I mean, other than that, pretty much it. I believe it's pretty much going out through August. Cause yeah, let's be dumb right now. May, June, July, August. Yeah, pretty much throughout August, supposedly. So very fascinated to see what he has in store for us. He said, I think he said during this Xbox like recap that there's something planned for this Tuesday, next Tuesday. So I'm curious to see what that's gonna be about. But we'll see. Um and of course, probably I guess the biggest at least news that had potentially had the or had a lot of hype at least initially, but after all was said and done, admittedly kind of somewhat of a whimper, which was Inside Xbox, their event where they at least promised to show a lot of gameplay for the upcoming Xbox Series X, but uh after the fact, not really. It seemed like, kind of let's watch trailers with maybe subtle gameplay here and there for the most part, or it's basically stuff we've already seen before to some extent. So I mean, but yeah, that's at least kind of my. I have to say that's definitely my overall sentiment of this Inside Xbox event. It was very very meh, very very meh. We just got a lot of trailers. We didn't really get that much gameplay. I don't think I didn't really get that impression. On top of like not too many games really stood out or like spoke to me personally, but it was definitely some hitters in there for sure, or potentially because yeah, a lot of it was just trailers. It wasn't really, or my bad, their term in-game engine. Um, so but it wasn't nothing was like, wow, this is Xbox Series X. Wow, this is next gen. It just like, yeah, it's believable, I guess, But I mean, I don't know. I guess that's kind of been the theme with it's kind of been the ongoing theme with next gen consoles where, at least initially when it starts out, you get some very like safe games in terms of pushing the consoles to their limits and stuff like that. Where obviously for the most generations, it was like some cross generational transitioning going on, which I don't know, especially with the messaging of which was definitely very apparent and consistent throughout this show, which was or the term smart delivery, which is basically their key term for if you buy any of these games, they showed that you'll be able to play them for free as a free upgrade on Xbox Series X, or basically except that I'm assuming they haven't somewhat really confirmed it yet, but assuming that you could put your disc kind of in the same way as previous gen, put your disc in the Xbox One Series X, and then you'll get all the various assets and additions in terms of graphics for the Series X with the same game disc, basically. So, yeah, I mean, sure, but yeah, it's like wasn't really anything like just shocking, stunning out of nowhere, like a heavy hitter, like whoa, whoa. It just really wasn't any of that. I'll try to touch on some of them, at least that I found personally interesting. Of course, we saw Assassin's Creed Valhalla. They showed us like very small snippets of gameplay. I'm like, yeah, I guess, but nothing to like write home about. Like, wow, well, I've never seen this before. So, yeah, probably one of the bigger highlights, definitely on my radar at least. Bright Memory Infinite. So basically, this was the first person shooter that's like it's first person shooter and then has action elements like melee action. So kind of like I get the impression of freaking Bulletstorm mixed with I want to say what's the one game on Wii? What is it called? Red something, Red Dawn, Red something. What is that game? That's gonna drive me crazy. Let's do a little research. Red something. Red Steel. Okay, Red Steel, that's what it was. Red Steel. Yeah, it just feels like it has like a lot of mobility and action for a first person shooter specifically. So you definitely get like there's going to be a melee combat system as well as, obviously first person shooter mechanics. Apparently the the developer was just one single man that made this, which is mind blowing if that's 100% true. Because like being able to pull something like that, seeing the trailer is pretty amazing. Like just the use of lighting and technical effects, it's pretty damn impressive. I think apparently way back, I think it's currently on Steam as a early access where you can kind of mess with it. I think it's just called Bright Memory, but I saw the term Bright Memory Infinite, which was seems to be for Japan specifically, maybe because it was like Bright Memory Infinite, and then it was in like Japan, not Japanese, font afterwards. So I guess this is technically going to be the full version. But yeah, definitely on my radar. It looked pretty cool. I see a lot of potential in it. If the trailer's any indication. Um, yeah, they showed Madden. Big surprise, Madden NFL 21. Apparently they said it's gonna be smart delivery, but I believe I was hearing and looking up that it isn't actually going to be that it's basically a very exclusive window that if you bought Madden on release, so obviously maybe a big surprise to nobody, August, which is normally when it comes out, you play it on Xbox One, and then when the Series X comes out, I think they give you another copy or something like that, but it doesn't seem to be specifically smart delivery based. So curious how that works, but it seems like it's some timed exclusivity window where you can, if you bought it on in August, and then when the Xbox comes out, whatever that is, or more than likely November, then you can upgrade to that, or you get another version copy, or the weird Assassin's Creed thing where like you put a PS3 disc into the PS4 and it somehow magically works. I guess I don't know. That's at least the impression they gave. So, Scarlet Nexus looks kind of cool. It was like Devil May Cry vibes with like a psycho, telekinetic vibe. So that seemed like it would potentially be up my alley. Scorn just looked grotesque as hell. I don't even know what it is, but I'm not even sure about that. I mean, I'm just more disgusted than interested, but you know what? I'm like disgustingly interested, maybe. Who knows? We'll see. Second Extinction, that was pretty interesting. Something you never really necessarily seen before, but basically Left for Dead, but with dinosaurs. That's pretty much the impression I got. So like you had a lot of various dinosaurs coming at you, and then you had to fend them off with your guns. Um which it looked kind of cool. I'd like to see more, but I mean, Left for Dead with dinosaurs. I mean, that sounds appealing. The Medium was pretty cool. It's I believe the composer for Silent Hill, Akira Yamaoka, the god, in terms of, I know he did some work on No More Heroes, which is one of my favorite soundtracks as well. That he's involved with this game. You definitely get a very Silent Hill vibe. I mean, obviously, I guess it could be just the music as well, but still, interested. I don't know much. It was again just a trailer, generic, somewhat, rough trailer, but we'll see. It's definitely at least on my radar. Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Um, and then probably the biggest, at least for me, kind of announcement was Yakuza Like a Dragon. So basically, at least from the director who came after the trailer dropped, he basically said that pretty much it's going to be Series X. At least it'll have cross save and will support smart delivery. So it, especially along the lines with the rumors that it will have, um, that it'll have a Xbox smart delivery, I guess, basically. So, um, did I lose my train of thought? I think I was referring to when they were all releasing at the same time. So I wasn't sure if it's going to be. It seemed like maybe it would just be released a little bit later after the PS4, but I don't know. It seemed like this is going to be releasing like roughly around the same time as the PS4 version. But then again, a lot of people are talking about like, yeah, they don't say, at least from the trailer or like the generic, the unbiased trailer, that it won't it didn't have PS5 included, which is very weird. It could be just hidden until I guess they officially announce it, but it was interesting that PS5 was omitted, but obviously PS4 was included, but the Series X was confirmed, but not the PS5. So potentially it might be some timed exclusivity or something, but I don't know. If PS5 doesn't follow suit, then yeah, I'm definitely going Xbox with this one if it all lines up. But I guess as a general recap though, yeah, it just wasn't that impressive. I mean, I'm pretty sure that probably the most obvious reason definitely is COVID-19. Um which is unfortunate. But I mean, just telling it like it is, it just seemed, yeah, it wasn't anything that was like stellar, out of this world, like unbelievable. This is next gen. This is Series X. Wow. It just felt like all these titles could technically come out on the Xbox One, which I believe they technically, most of them are anyway. So, I mean, yeah. Um, yeah, just definitely disappointing. Maybe I just had my expectations too high, but at least from kind of like how they were marketing it, hyping it up, it seemed like it was going to be way bigger than what it actually was. So, her sigh. But I mean, I know they got something in their pocket. They got something in their pocket, and I know they did at least temper expectations and say that Halo Infinite is going to be revealed, shown on in July. So that's something. It's something. Moving on. So boy, kind of just starting this initial like blast off with game news, reveals, and whatnot. Ed Boon, the glorious godfather of Mortal Kombat, they was cooking up something this whole time, and apparently it's Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath. So from what I got from the trailers and whatnot, it seemed like this is basically an add-on to Mortal Kombat 11, but it has like a lot of additional content. So it basically adds story content, which is very unheard of, at least specifically for fighting games to add additional story content, whereas just they just generally just add characters and call it a day. But it seems like this addition or DLC, yeah, they're going the whole gamut. They're adding this whole story campaign. It seems like that takes place right after the end of Mortal Kombat 11. I mean, definitely huge ass spoilers if you haven't beat Mortal Kombat 11, but um, yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's the trailer is definitely straight up spoiling it. If you haven't played the campaign, which I assume a lot of people have, but either way, um, just so you know, just saying. But they actually it seemed like the leaks like a while back are pretty much validated now. I think like people are like freaking out like no, ain't gonna be RoboCop, and sure enough it RoboCop is included. Fujin, the brother of Raiden, and who else? Shiva, uh, the girl I said that she looked kind of cute, but I mean, I don't know how she looking in this trailer. No, no, I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm okay. So yeah, um, and I think they did like bundle it with a whole pack where basically if you didn't catch on the whole season one pass, you can actually get that now. Um, with bundle with this game, so that's pretty cool. I think I have not gotten it, so this is definitely gonna get me to jump back in, at least specifically for the campaign. So I'm definitely hyped, excited for it. Because I mean, yeah, I definitely can say Mortal Kombat has one of the strongest single player campaigns out of any of the fighting games currently today, for sure. I think that's probably pretty commonly established amongst everybody, I'd say. So all in all, cool stuff. And I think May 26th, so we do not have that long to wait for it. So that's pretty cool. Pretty awesome. So next, in wake of the Last of Us leak stab in last episode, apparently, which is good to know, at least kind of just spreading like you know just venom for no reason, or being spiteful, or trying to point the finger at people who weren't necessarily should be pointed at. uh I believe Naughty Dog themselves, or I think Sony specifically, they said that the Last of Us 2 leakers are not affiliated with Naughty Dog. So it wasn't what some people were like, having rumors and speculating about, that it could have been that it was a disgruntled employee that was just very unsatisfied with Naughty Dog and was like, well, fuck it. Okay, everybody's gonna pay. No. So apparently it was somebody outside of Sony that did do it. So that is at least good to know. But in conjunction with that, um, they also dropped Last of Us 2 freaking trailer. They dropped a new story trailer, and it's pretty great. It's pretty great. It's a lot of interpretation there. Um but yeah, I was very cautious, because I mean, like, on the wake of the Last of Us 2 like spoilers, or people the leak spoilers, I was like, oh, I don't know if I should watch this. I'm not sure it's gonna be real spoilery, or if like Naughty Dog was like, well, here you go. All right, well, you fucking watch it then, or something, like, but thankfully it wasn't. It was pretty tame. Wasn't necessarily, not really any spoilers I could see. It just seemed pretty safe. But it's definitely a lot you could interpret from the trailer. Because I mean, I think the big question everybody is kind of, I think, suspected since the start of since we saw the initial trailer of the game was, yeah, like, is Joel gonna die? Like, is he actually there? Is he real? Or is he a figment of her imagination at those periods in the game or whatever? I don't know. I don't know. It still insinuates that that could be a possibility, but it's not clearly cut, stated, or just straight obvious, if anything. But all in all, man, it looks like, boy, looks like it's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be heavy. Need to give me a box of tissues. I mean, that's kind of rare now, stock in pandemic, but you know this is a pandemic we're playing through now that might get real for a lot of us emotionally. That's one thing I didn't even think about. Now I feel like with this game kind of hitting a lot of weirdly similar themes as what we're all going through as a nation now. um that will this hit different now that we're kind of somewhat roughly kind of live in a similar scenario. That's going to be fascinating, but thankfully we don't have long to wait until June 19th. Thank goodness. Because boy, trying to duck and dodge spoilers was tough. Not too tough. I mean, especially like watching this trailer on YouTube, I'm like, do not look at the comments because there's gonna be some asshole that's gonna spoil it. Stuff like that. Just keep your wits about you. That's all I'm gonna say. In other news, um, I never thought I'd say this in ever, but yeah, in Cyberpunk 2077, apparently you can customize your genitals. So yeah, so apparently you could do some really weird shit, like you can give yourself two penises, I think, three, hell, four. Why not? You can helicopter your crotch to hideouts. Yeah. Then I guess apparently first person sex scenes, both oral and vanilla. What is that? Oh, vanilla is just typical sex, I guess. They really going into detail on this. This is from VG247. So yeah, so I'm gonna just say I have to quote this because you can't even like just talk about it in passing. This game. All right. The game contains nudity and sexual material. Players can select a gender and customize their character. Customization can include depictions of breasts, buttocks, and genitalia, as well as various sizes and combinations of genitals. Give me thick buttocks. That's not quoted. Give me thick buttocks and an average willy. CD Project quit. Give me them now. Why did I turn into Obama? Give me thick buttocks and average willy. CD Project Red, give me them now. Thank you very much. That's my that's my that's my Barack Obama. I had to sip after that one. Ah, man, I need to. I gotta do it. This game contains nudity and sexual material. Players can select a gender and customize their character. Customization can be and include depictions of breasts, buttocks, and genitalia, as well as various sizes and combinations of genitals. So yeah, so I mean, at least what I got the impression of, you can have like two penises, you can have a penis and a vagina, you could just you go wild, you can have put a taser on your penis, on your end of your penis or something. I don't. I don't know. But honestly, it's pretty cool to kind of give your character a lot of customization than I ever thought we ever would have had. Uh, so bravo to CD Projekt Red for that. My goodness, my goodness. Yes, I joked about it on Twitter though. It's like, hey, Keanu Reeves was good. He like had me up to here, but I'm like, I just needed something else. I just need something else to just get me over that edge with this. And I just saw that headline the other day. Like, you can customize your genitals. Say no less. Say less. Say less. Had to do it now. Gotta get it. Gotta get it now. Like this game. You know what is missing? It's missing genitals. Customizable genitals. So and they answer my prayers. So you know what? Hey. Gotta buy in. Gotta buy in at that point. You gotta buy in. When they put in genitals, you gotta buy in. You have to. There's no way around it. No way. Oh boy. Wow. I mean, that's a selling point. I mean, what game can you customize your genitals? I mean, they making revolutions right now. They're making revolutions. Speaking of futuristic intergalactic genitals that don't at least exist in this game, but the game pretended does has it. That is Mass Effect. So, according to, well, at least initially there was, I believe, a earnings call with EA and their shareholders, and I believe after the aftermath of it, Jeff Grubb, which I believe he was a former developer with EA, currently is one or the other. But he basically just said it straight out. And he's like, oh, and that HD remake of an EA game is the Mass Effect trilogy. Just don't expect that to also launch on Switch, at least not first. So, yeah. So I'm guessing it seems to be like he straight up confirmed that it's going to be a port. So, take it for what you will. I'd be down to play Mass Effect again. That'd be a cool little romp. I had a very great time with it. At least before. I know I played it back in college. I had a good time. Played through the whole trilogy. Well, I played through 1 and 2, and I think the third one didn't come out yet. But when it came out, I got it after that. So I was hyped. It was a good time. I enjoyed it. Obviously the very somber ending, but yeah. So, So hey, if you want to, fuck aliens, in addition to customizing your genitalia, hey, 2020 is the year for you. All right. You're welcome. I mean, I didn't do anything. I'm just a messenger. That's all. But I'm just saying. So, kind of harken back to the Yakuza Like a Dragon news, or AKA Yakuza 7 news. It seems like that Steam DB listing earlier this week was hinting at something pretty accurate. So basically, I believe I mentioned all the platforms, but Yakuza Like a Dragon is coming out on PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Windows 10 Store, and then Steam. So it seemed like Steam DB does not lie. Does not lie. So there you go. You'd think they'd have some freaking, by now they'd like have some defense or some like mechanism to like obscure things, but apparently they don't. I don't know. I'm surprised the Steam DB is so available, or widely available. to everybody. But hey, I guess they don't care. Or, I don't know. That's hearing like a lot of leaks and stuff today, or at least these past few weeks or whatever. I feel like there is some form of politics going on where they just, what, like, hey, just we'll just gonna let this leak right here at this particular moment. Where like I think the fact that we shouldn't know kind of makes it more appealing, uh since we're not supposed to know it but we do, versus it being announced to us and then we're supposed to digest that information. So I don't know. I'm pretty certain if marketing firms were smart, they would be pulling some of these dynamics. So part of me thinks that is the case in some scenarios, which potentially might be this one. I mean, for a game like this, it's pretty popular, but I don't know if other bigger IPs could get away with it. I guess it varies. It really varies from game to game, but it it seemed it's a very interesting prospect, if anything. But just had to touch on that, you know. So and just depressing, we can't go anywhere. All fun is canceled for 2020. Um Evo unfortunately announced that they are um canceling Evo 2020. At least the physical event. But and maybe in somewhat worse news, they are deciding to do the event online this summer with supposedly all of the games that were intended to be played typically locally, which is generally what is done at Evo. So that potentially means, at least at the surface, is that we'll be playing we'll be playing games like Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, which is just has a horrible, atrocious reputation for its online. I mean, in general, I think the general consensus sentiment with online fighting games is that the online netcode is trash, atrocious, and in so many ways, and potentially having a huge, highly regarded competitive fighting game circuit to involve these games specifically with their online component, that does that leads to a lot of very legitimate weary, cautious, slash cautiously optimistic people, I would say. I mean, yeah. I mean, specifically, probably the most regarded is Smash Ultimate. I don't know, man. I don't even know. I really don't. No, you're not. You're not. So, yeah, that does not seem good, man. What's really what's really funny is these jokes on Twitter, straight straight going in on Evo. Like basically the general, like, I guess theme is that people like will are basically, sharing some of like the most popular, like monumental historic moments at Evo, and then like what if this great monumental moment happens, and then like you've been disconnected. The player has disconnected. You've been disconnected right when they're about to win. So essentially, people rage quit it like they generally do in terms of online environments. Yeah, they're gonna need to have some very strict regulation. I can't even imagine how they're gonna try to like maneuver this in any remote way. It's yeah, I don't see how they're gonna do it. I mean, for the legitimate online games that have respectable net code or whatever, but uh, yeah, I don't see how they're gonna pull this off, but we'll see. Feel like if all the implications are there and follow through, I mean, we're gonna have a lot of new Evo champions um that we've never never seen before. Like what is this butt muncher 2058? How did he win Street Fighter 5? What's garbage muncher 29? How is he he won? He won Smash Online? Huh? What? How in the world? We've never heard of this man before. Yeah, I am and then on freaking the supposed like big like celebration of Marvel versus Capcom 2 coming back. So I mean, are they gonna do Xbox Live, Xbox 360 version and play online? Even though I've heard the online is decent, but not, the best. And you got, Tekken has I mean again, it's very hit or miss kind of, you know, I just they just should have just canceled the whole event, but I mean, yeah, it's just well, I guess we're just really going to have to see how it's going to pan out, man, cuz yeah, having Evo championship online does not sound that enticing. I think for a lot of parties, I'd say probably the most that might be potentially, depending on how they do it, burned is definitely the fans because like see people skipping across the screen and like, oh, is that a technique? Oh, honey, that's a frame trap. What? No, it's not. How do you know it's a frame trap then? They have this whole argument. What? I don't, huh? No, I mean, I don't watch fighting games, um, without you at all. I mean, I don't know people or have dated people that have, had fighting games, no, not at all. So don't know where that came from, but hey, it could happen at Evo 2020, which will not be at, but will be technically there in spirit from our comforts of our homes, fearing the pandemic. So, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, that's that, I guess. Keeping in line with internet news, I thought it was somewhat relevant, so I thought I'd mention it. Apparently, AT&T, Charter, Cox, Verizon, and other internet service providers will be introducing consumer-friendly policy changes. So what that essentially means is that basically they're just going to flip a switch and for a lot of people who have data caps, I guess specifically only us in the US that really have them, will be raised as they technically should have in the first place because there's really no limit of internet usage, whatever, and speeds will be raised. So it doesn't say when that specifically is going to happen, but I guess apparently sometime now or uh soon. I think they said for 30 days. And I believe they're going to be more lenient in terms of um making sure everybody's connected or something like that. I believe state the source. Yeah, these are no brainers. Yeah, suspend data caps, boost internet speeds, provide free or discounted service for those consumers in need. So, I'd say very much your mileage may vary, but apparently the consensus is everybody is going to look out for you from the very greedy, deceiving cable companies. So take that for what you will. All right. I think that covers all of the news for this week. So let's get into what I've been gaming on. It's probably first big notable one is Gears Tactics. Man, I am I've been very much wrong about this game. I had when I initially saw it, I had a very negative outlook on it. I'm like, a shooter and freaking strategy game, that just doesn't add up. No, not at all. I don't buy it. I don't buy it one bit. So it was very much under the radar. I wasn't really following up on it or whatever till it finally came out today. Was starting to hear some good stuff about it. I'm like, oh, okay, let me try this out. I do enjoy my fair amount of strategy games. So let me give it a shot. And boy, I am glad I did. It is one of the better strategy games I played. Probably one of the best strategy games, which is not saying a lot because I don't really play that much. But I mean, I have yet to play Fire Emblem, so. But yeah, it seemed up my alley. It's like Street of Rage shooting and whatnot, but in a tactical kind of vibe. Was definitely starting to appeal and warm up to me, and I'm having a really good time with it. I think I'm like 7 hours in. Yeah, just once you get the mechanics down and how everything works, it's been pretty rewarding. Having your tactical knowledge tested and paying off and like dividends in a lot of aspects. So I definitely recommend it if you are a Gears of War fan, and you like strategy games, because it will surprise you. I'm also very surprised by the story. It seems to be implicating a lot of like main story continuation with the Gears universe, which I wasn't necessarily expecting too much of, as well as the fidelity and graphical, prowess of it all. But it is impressive, man. It really is. Just all around. So definitely gonna play more of that. Definitely gonna beat it. Not sure how long it is, because at least how the format of the game works, at least starting out, they kind of give you a few missions to kind of train you, make you aware of the certain dynamics going on and things like that. Then as you proceed, they introduce a couple new enemies here and there, and then at a certain point they start branching you off on different various missions, it seems like. So you do kind of these sub missions, which I guess it's kind of what's standard nowadays, but it has this weird requirement that I don't think you can necessarily critical path the game. Like, you can't just do the main story missions and skip them altogether. I think you might, because I think I saw an option where you can like deliberately skip the side stuff. So I could be totally wrong on that, but at least from what I saw, they made it seem like you couldn't. You have to play that before you can actually proceed with the main story missions. So um I'm guessing they would give you an option to skip it, maybe after you beat it or something like that. I don't know, but something to be aware of. I'm guessing, I doubt they will force you to do that if you don't want to, or this is your continual playthrough or whatever. So, but all in all, man, really great. You get pretty much what makes Gears, but with a tactical spin on it, which is pretty much all you can technically really hope for. You get the curb stomping, the executions, Probably the one thing I'm kind of slightly disappointed they didn't incorporate it, at least as so far as what I played, is the active reload. Something tells me it's got to be some perk that you can get later in the game that lets you do that. Um, where like if you tactical reload successfully, you get +2 extra bullet in your clip versus if you uh uh fail active reload where maybe you'll lose -3 or something like that. I feel like it's gotta be one of those mechanics in one of the classes. Because that's another thing too. There's like I want to say 5, 6 classes. Each has a dedicated weapon, like Lancer, Sniper, Nasher, um, Thrasher. I forgot what they called the minigun in that game, but I'm gonna go with Thrasher, so on and so forth. And then you can also customize your loadouts where you can buff your weapons and abilities and stuff like that. One cool thing too that I did like, I'm assuming maybe other strategy games do it because I could see the intention of why they do it. They want you to build like an attachment to these characters because they could technically at least the impression I got, they can die, and you can't bring them back. Technically, you can, like when your cat die, you can get somebody, you can get another cat, but it ain't gonna be that cat. You know what I mean? So, uh, yeah. So basically, I just somewhat made myself in the game, which I was streaming yesterday, Twitch TV/A Switch, and it was pretty fun. I understand their intention. They want you to get attached to these characters, and then you mess up one little bit, that dude is good as gone. Then you have to start from scratch, which I hope not. I hope not, but I understand it. I understand it. They're smart. They're smart. So all in all, very much enjoying Gears Tactics. I do recommend it if you are a fan of Gears of War, B, a fan of strategy games. So, and after that, I actually surprisingly got into the Valorant beta, closed beta. So I was like, while I was at work, I was like, put up another browser, just to let the time go and watch. I was supporting some other streamers while I was doing that to hey, support your smaller streamers. So I guess I'm not sure how it works, but I assumed it was like while you're watching you get a drop, but I think I was doing that like the week or so before, and then I was like, okay, I'm not getting anything, so I'm done. I'm done for the day. And then I never got back to trying to get it. And then like this past week, like I want to say Monday, they said, "Hey, you got in the beta. Hey, you can have this key. All right, let's play. Let's play some games." So that is what I did. And I played maybe about like four or five-ish matches, I want to say. And at least I'll give my impressions from those matches so far. I'm not sure why I'm labeling everything, but it is like my at least initial impressions of the game so far is like it's basically Counter Strike with Overwatch, straight up. It's like if people were telling you that and you thought, man, you lying. No, it's like I guess people are watching the gameplay and obviously can get that, but from what I played, yeah, it is straight up Counter Strike and Overwatch had a baby. Valorant, that's what you got, which is actually it's not a bad thing. I was thoroughly enjoying it. I was getting some unexpected headshots here and there. It took me a while to get acclimated, because I guess that's been this one issue or kind of like I guess idiosyncrasy of being a PC gamer. It's like I like playing on PC, but I like it's probably like I don't think it's a shun now, but I like playing with controllers, so I uh I didn't do that. I was like, yeah, this is some PC games you just can't play with a controller. It's not necessarily feasible or like viable to even like, stand your ground or whatever. So I was playing yeah, trying to get acclimated to keyboard, mouse and keyboard, and I don't know. I just seem to just not feel really comfortable doing it. I'm not sure if just maybe my desk setup or versus playing in a kind of like more relaxed mode, which maybe you'll see me you when you see me streaming lately. I'm kind of at least more chilled than I am at the desk, and then I'm normally at my desk because of work, so it's like I don't really feel like even sitting here still. So I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna try to get a median going to try to get more comfortable with PC gaming. In the aspect of being more comfortable playing with mouse and keyboard versus just automatically going to controller, which I generally have like a little period where I kind of test each input method out more, and decide from there. Like I did it with Gears Tactics first. Is like mouse and keyboard feels weird, but that's generally the most comfortable way to play a RTS. But um I tried control. It wasn't that bad, but it's like I feel like I had more accuracy, less kind of difficulty controlling with mouse and keyboard than controller. So it's a very slippery slope, and definitely varies from game to game. It's just in my head, some games I associate directly with controller, some games I so directly associate with mouse and keyboard. So it's a learning experience, if anything. Maybe I just have the best of both worlds and just go to revert to a Steam controller, which got that insanely ridiculous great deal where they were like selling them for like $5. Um so who knows? Very, very, very first world problem, but it is a problem. Not really, but it's kind of a problem, but not really. Kind of a first world problem. But I digress. Um Also got around to playing Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. The campaign, of course, PlayStation just being a penis and and wanted to hold exclusivity because being having freaking survival exclusive to their platform for a whole damn year wasn't enough. Um yeah, so they had a month exclusivity with PlayStation. So thankfully that let up like last week. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, let me go ahead and play Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. After playing that, it was a lot. I totally forgot about that game. I guess because so much of my memory is ingrained in the multiplayer more than the single player, but it is pretty solid. Pretty solid, pretty solid classic Michael Bay experience, really. I had a great time with it. Definitely liked all the upgrades, additions. You could definitely see the um kind of upgrade, a lot of additions and upgrades they did make from the original game. Probably would have been more beneficial if I played the 360 version a little bit at least first and then played it. But I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go right ahead in. And yeah, I had a great time. Didn't challenge myself too hard. I just went on normal. I was like, I'm not really feel like struggling. I just want to experience the whole campaign one more time and see how things are and change the stuff. So um yeah, overall I had a great time with it. I'm curious uh how long this train is going to go in terms of remaking all the Call of Duty games. Like, when are they going to stop, or are they going to stop? Are they going to technically remake the other games, or whatnot. But you know what? Now that I think about it, probably the biggest I guess disappointment slash I don't know thing I was vicariously doing by playing the game I felt was just the lack of multiplayer, which for obvious reasons they omitted it because they don't want to separate the player base and yeah, just basically segment the player base. Essentially, I'm pretty sure that's obviously the reason why. But man, just seeing like all the old guns and classic guns and one of your like favorite games all time was pretty cool. I was like, I just found myself legitimately just like picking up guns I normally didn't. If I were to play this in any other scenario, just knowing that like this is the only avenue I could see these guns in like, remade fashion, not being in the multiplayer. And, just like fantasizing, like, man, curious how this will play in multiplayer, seeing some of the maps, which obviously always take inspiration from the single player campaign maps, was cool too. Yeah, just makes me wish. Hopefully, they maybe release the the multiplayer component for Modern Warfare 2 remastered after maybe the just fandom fervor of Modern Warfare comes down, maybe potentially possibly, I don't know. Part of me would really like to see it, still play it. Maybe Activision would probably do this after the next gen consoles come out. That's probably when they're like, oh yeah, hey, you can play Modern Warfare 2 Remaster now. All right, good luck. Have fun. And they're like, what what am I gonna I mean, I got this new console. Well, I guess it probably is gonna be backwards compatible, more than likely, if that were to be the case, but worth mentioning either way. All in all, great time. At least going back to the no Russian mission. I'm not sure if they like expanded on some stuff, but I don't remember it being as. I know it was obviously controversial, but I don't remember it being or going that far over, if that makes sense. Like, I'm familiar with shooting obviously all the innocent people in that airport, but I guess specifically shooting people yourself. I mean, which I was just doing it out of curiosity. I'm not like that. I'm a very good person at heart. Thank you very much. Okay. But I was like, I don't know. I don't remember all this. Like, you see people like crawling and like kind of like holding on for dear life. And then, I just shoot them because I was just curious. Okay. It wasn't evilness. It was just curiosity. All right. Let me explicitly state that. Okay. That just needs to be addressed. All right. Okay. Any other environment, I would not. And when they started shooting everybody, I was like, I think hopefully if you're a saint of God, of a holiness, you would have done the same. But when they start shooting everybody, at least me, I was like, oh man, all these people getting killed. Oh, I'm just shooting the sky and stuff. Oh, you guys are terrorists. Oh man, I hate you guys. Why am I even with you? Just shooting the windows and stuff. Damn it. What? Oh man, So yeah, what if somebody, one of the terrorists that were like, double agent, actually like the, oh, damn it, we gotta shoot this airport. I hate everybody. Die, you American scum. That would be pretty. I'd like to see that show. I'd like to see that skit. Yeah. So, all in all, pretty great experience. Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. I really hope the multiplayer happens to possibly accidentally come out, shadow drop, whatever, probably after, the full year Modern Warfare is out. I would guess it'd be reasonable, So yeah. Then after that, man, talked about it a little bit last time, but boy, this damn game, Streets of Rage 4. This game is ridiculously addictive. I'm gonna have to just say that right now. I found myself thoroughly enjoying the hell out of this game. Um, it is such a fun ass game, and I'm just playing it each subsequent playthrough, which I think by now I've probably played the game, beat the game probably like 10 times by now. I mean, to its credit, it's not really that big long of a game. Probably like 3 hours at the most to get through all the levels. But man, just the combat, just the central like pillar of the game is just solid. And I've been having a blast with it. Also been playing with roommates and stuff, and it's been fun too. And man, it is Streets Rage 4 is great. I don't care what anybody else says. Streets of Rage 4 is probably the best beat 'em up I've played. Yeah, I'll say it. Streets of Rage 4 is the best beat 'em up I've played to date. I definitely stand by that. Yeah, man, just the pillars of that game, just the easy to learn, hard to master type dynamics going on is just solid. Specifically, the combo system, which I think I roughly touched on before, but yeah, man, I am a sucker for some damn juggles, wall bounces. It's like, and it makes sense because I believe one of the main developers behind the game is actually a former fighting game guy. So it makes a bunch of sense now. But yeah, you definitely see a lot of fighting game inspirations and mechanics coming into play with, meter, the special moves we talked about before, where like, if you use a special move, then you have like red health that you can gain back if you hit the people or hit the enemies without getting hit until you fully recover it. And it's just very subtle mechanics that just make the game feel more in depth than just like, a standard throwaway beat 'em up. Yeah, the same thing is always going to happen. You hit the person, they fall, and that's it. But it's like, I think just the whole juggle and combo system adds a whole different element of like mystery and like what's the term, like discovery, where it's like you start to learn that you can do a juggle off of this. If you space just right, you can actually do two grand uppers and stuff like that, which I find very engaging, and doesn't it helps definitely break the monotony and like staleness of general beat 'em ups, which is, I think, just fascinating that it does. It feels like it honestly solves the issue that's always been with beat 'em up, is in how they always become instantly irrelevant or old and like tired and tedious to play after initial one or two playthroughs, that I feel like I could literally keep playing this through like literally all this year. Oh, and especially if they like release DLC characters and stuff like that. I will be playing the hell out of this game. Yeah, definitely. Cause like I really have the urge to play it now, honestly. But it was an interesting thing me and my roommate came across when we were playing co-op wise before, is that apparently the Xbox One version is freaking a full-blown patch behind all the other versions, PS4, Switch, and Steam. not to be confused with the Windows 10, which is also PC. But in terms of the stores, I believe Steam version is current, but the yeah, the only the Xbox One and Windows Store version are behind. They said update was going to be coming out sometime this week. I believe they said, due to the obviously the pandemic and stuff slowing things down, but um yeah, it's unfortunate because at least it's stopping me from getting these two achievements I got, because I was like literally just playing the hell out of this game, getting achievements and stuff. um I got to get this one out of this world combo achievement where you have to get like a basically out of this world combo, which I think is like, I think it's more, I believe the misnomer with the achievement is that it's more about damage than rather than your combo number. But it seems like with this particular patch for the Xbox One version, it's like it seems to be way more strict than it needs to be, compared to other ones, at least for the tutorial videos I was looking up online and try to see how to actually get it, as well as getting an S rank on stages, which seems to be as well kind of impossible with the current patch build on Xbox One. So I don't even know. But I mean, I'm gonna work for it. I'm gonna definitely wait till this patch come out. That's what I've been doing. I was like, I want to play it, but this patch version, I'm gonna wait. And then it's like, combos that you were able to do and have fun with before, you probably may not do in the current patch build. It's disappointing, but it is a testament to how great the base game is, because like I was playing the hell out of it and having a good ass time regardless. So if anything, that's still a testament to how great this game is. I feel is definitely for sure top three games of the year, hands down. It's probably right there behind Final Fantasy 7. It actually might be going above it, depending. I'm not sure yet, but in terms of like rankings, like this is definitely by hands down one of my favorite beat 'em ups that have come out as of late. So I'm just saying, if you like beat 'em ups, support your local beat 'em ups. I mean, well, support your beat 'em ups in general. It's very good to see just a beat 'em up like this that's has such a legacy behind it, come through all this adversity, with speculation and adversity, really, just that, to actually get through all this and actually be a great game is good to see. Really is. At least is good sign that beat 'em ups may possibly come back to some extent, which has always been a desire of mine to have beat 'em ups come back, because I love them, really do. In case you ain't know, love me some damn beat 'em ups. I love to beat somebody up. I bet you do too. What? Abusive man at home? No, none of that here. Yeah. So, shoot, shut up. All right, shut up. Just shut up. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Okay. Thank you. All right. On that note, just disclaimer. Beating up people is not okay, all right? Unless they want it. Unless they want to get beat up. People into that masochism and stuff. Hey, if they want it, they can get it. And this isn't the BDSM. This is the everybody. Welcome to the BDSM stream. Just wanna welcome y'all in. The safe word is pie. Thank you. All right, let's have a good old nut stomping time. Let's have a good old nut stomping time. Boy, we are derailing. Getting back on track in terms outside of games. Also been Still chugging away at The Office. Man, that show is really, really is gold, man. Really is gold. I think I'm on season 6-ish now. Um, I forgot. I think the most notable episode I last saw was I believe the one where Michael Scott he I guess he apparently way back he promised to get this whole class of kids that were in elementary at the time to that were in elementary to get full ride scholarships or pay for their tuition after they graduate. So pretty much they're like full blown kids now. They're about to graduate high school, and Michael Scott comes back and he's like, well, yeah, I made a false promise. I can't afford to pay all these kids through college. And they made him feel like the worst person. They doing all this whole dedicated song and everything to him and whatnot. And then after all that, it's like, oh, y'all making this really tough. And I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I won't be able to. Can't pay your tuition. Sorry. So, yeah. So, I feel bad. I feel real bad. Feel real bad. It was funny though. But yeah. Slowly but surely, I think it's 8 or no, I think it's 9 seasons. So I've been putting actually a pretty big dent. Normally pretty much every day I at least watch one episode or two. So but yeah, outside of that, that's been pretty much it, man. Pretty much it. Streets Rage 4 is gospel. Just saying. If you ain't played it, play it now. All right. Support your beat 'em ups. Support your beat 'em ups, especially this one because it's so damn great. So, if you ain't heard it from me. So, yeah, I think that's gonna do it for episode 54 of this show of Switches Sites. If you like what you heard, like what you witnessed, I understand if you don't. Please like, rate, subscribe on your popular podcasting platforms. Any feedback, negative or positive, is appreciated. You can also catch me on Twitch TV/aswitch, where I do record this live as well, so you can see me look like an idiot in person, or see my facial expressions of me being an idiot. So there's that. Also upload them to youtube.com/aswitch as well, where you can also do the same thing as well as other videos. I tend to upload, at least lately, just been trying to upload a lot of my archives that I've never uploaded to YouTube. So that's at least the plan for now. I may start doing like a best of, try to summarize all my standout moments, streaming and otherwise, in terms of me being me, of course. So, as well as with Twitch changing its whole system now, I'm probably gonna try to make a trailer for the traction or whatever too. So why not hit two birds with one stone? I mean, if you're gonna kill the goose, kill the rabbit at the same time. Duh. I mean, elementary, Jesus. But I digress. Outside of that, I think that's it. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. Oh yeah, you can catch me tweeting dumb stuff and liking girls' butts on Twitter at aswitch. Feel free to follow, don't follow, hate me. It's all good. It's all love at the end of the day, right? Um, yeah, I think that is it, guys. Till next time, stay safe. Don't cough on anybody. All right. I mean, as you should know that, but I'm just saying. I'm just from me to you. Don't cough on anybody. Okay. Just don't cough on people. All right. Stop it. If you gonna cough, cough on yourself. Figure it out. Cough on yourself. That's gonna be my slogan for now. Now until this is over. uh yeah. So until next time, guys, don't cough on yourself. Oh yeah.